السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. طلبة المرحلة الثالثة الأعزاء، اليوم نتحدث عن Unit 7 الوحدة السابعة. So today we talk about Unit 7 subject, the world of work. So we start with the grammar. We have present perfect, active and passive, and then we have phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs. So we have two topics here. المضارع التام، المبني المجهول والمبني المعلوم. And then we have phrasal verbs, right? Alright, so we have start with the present perfect, active and passive. Active sentences طبعا راح نبدي step by step. We will start, right? Active sentences الجمل المبنية المعلوم in the present perfect tense have the following structure. First thing we have to know is what are the active sentences, form of these active sentences. معناتها صيغ أو rule of these active sentences, right? We have to know this. It's very important. Look at this here. We have subject plus has, have plus past participle form of the verb plus object. Subject has, have زائد past participle التصريف الثالثي صيغة التصريف الثالث للفعل and then plus object مفعول به. Passive sentences الجمل المبنية المجهول in the present perfect في المضارع التام have the following structure. Object of the active sentence مفعول به للجملة المعلومة has, have plus and then plus past participle التصريف الثالث للفعل and then by خلي by هاي نضيفها plus subject of the active sentence and then فاعل الجملة الجملة المبنية المعلومة. Right, so here we have two type of passive voice sentences. These sentences about present perfect, active and passive. So we have form صيغة for active sentences للجملة المبنية المعلوم and then also we have form of passive sentences. للactive sentences عندنا جمل عندنا form قاعدة هي subject plus have and then plus past participle form of the verb plus object. Passive as sentences جمل مبنية مجهول in the present perfect tense في المضارع التام have the following structure. هذا التركيب الآتي. المفعول به جملة المعلوم has, have plus when plus past participle التصريف الثالث الفعل plus by plus subject of the active sentences. Let's look here at examples. Changing in assertive sentence into the passive. Assertive sentences into the passive. Right. Active. I have written a story. Passive. A story has written by me. Right. I have written. I have إنها طبعا. الأكتف الجمل المؤكدة المعلومة. I have هاي I have موجودة. has و have أي تستخدم داخل have. بعدين past participle تصير الثالث write or written. A story is object. Alright. Now to know this is clear. Now we come to the passive story. We come objective adjective sentences. مفعول به لجملة المعلومة يصير في البداية. A story has been written by me. has or have مفرد singular. Right. داخل بين and then this been written by me. Here we have a lot of sentences about this. Right. Active, they have built a house. House has been built by them, right? Active, he has broken my window. My window has been broken by him, right? I think it's clear, just need more concentration. تركيز أكثر. Active, they have placed an order for a digital camera. Passive, an order for a digital camera has been placed by me. Active, she has done her work. Passive, her work has been done by her. She تأخذت من her. Right? Right? Alright. Now let's take this. Let's see as present perfect. present perfect مضارع التام للمبني المجهول والمبني المعلوم. Alright. Now changing a negative sentence into the passive. كيف نحول الجملة المنفية إلى الجملة المبنية المجهول في صيغة النيجاتيف. Active وهي مبنية طبعا هاي جملة مبنية للمعلوم. Active, I have not received a telegram. I have not received a telegram. Passive, a telegram has not been received by me. right. حالة النفي. Active, she has not written a story has not written by her. فقط انتبهوا على الضمائر كيف تتحول. right, she صار there. Active, she has not cheated anybody. Nobody has been cheated by her. right, nobody has been cheated for her. Look at these bold words. نرى الكلمات المكتوبة بلون غامق. هذه هي التحولات التي تصير في الجملة. alright. Now we have another case which is changing an interrogative sentence into the passive. Passive forms الجمل الصيغة المبنية للمجهول of these sentences will begin with has or have. When the active sentences begins with a question word, example when, where, which, why, etc. The passive sentence will also begin with a question word when the active sentence begins with who or whose. The passive sentence will begin with whom, by whom, or by whose. When the active sentence begins with whom, the passive sentence will begin with who. Right? Let's take a look at these examples. Active, have you kept the secret? Have you kept the secret? Passive, طبعا have you kept the secret هاي مبني المعلوم. انت الجملة المبنية للمجهول هذا the secret being kept by you. right. فإذا هنا عندنا تحولت الهاز في البداية صارت هاي أيضا تحول السؤال. right. بعدين والتصريف الثالث للفعل. active, who has done this, who has done this. right. إذا احنا أخذنا حالة إنه إذا بدت الأكتف sentence جملة مبنية للمعلوم تبدأ مع هو or whose, the passive sentence جملة مبنية للمجهول will begin with by whom. right. Please keep this in your mind. right. Passive here, by whom has this been done. Active, why have you told a lie? Why have you told a lie? Passive, why has a lie been told by you? Why has a lie been told by you? right. alright, now let's come to another topic, second topic, which is phrasal verbs. What do you mean by phrasal verbs? What are phrasal verbs? A phrasal verb is a verb like pick up, turn on, or get on with. right. هذا يقصد به phrasal verbs يعني فعل مع في say something with this, something grammatically شيء نحوي, and is with a part of speech مع جزء من الكلام, verb with a part of speech. okay. Phrasal verb is a verb like pick up, turn on, or get on with. right. يعني these verbs consists تكون of هذه القاعدة نحفظها basic verb بفعل رئيسي plus another word or words. The two or three words that make up a phrasal verb form a short phrase. alright, look at this very important this line. The two or three words الكلمتان أو الكلمتين that make up التي تركب phrasal verbs form صيغة العبارة, فهي short phrase عبارة قصيرة هي which is why we call them phrasal verbs. تكون عبارة قصيرة وبها وصاحبها فعل. right. But a phrasal verb is still a verb. like الجملة الفعلية لا تزال, العبارة الفعلية لا تزال فعل. Look is a verb. Look هنا is a verb فعل. Look up is also a verb فعل. A different verb. They do not have the same meaning and they behave differently grammatically. You should treat each phrasal verb as a separate verb and learned like any other verb. Look at these examples. You can see that there are three types of phrasal verbs formed from a single word verb. Let's come to these types of phrasal verbs. There we go. Okay, here it is the first one. A single word verb is the first type of phrasal verb. Is a single word verb. معناتها الكلمة تكون فعل واحد. Verb, we have definition, example. Let's come to the one by one. Verb, single word verb, look. right. هذا مثال. Direct your eyes in a certain direction. You must look before you leave. right. هذا فعل واحد. Phrasal verb العبارة الفعلية verb plus adverb. verb هذا look. الادverb هنا up معناتها أعلى هذا adverb. search for and find information in a reference book. You can look up the word in a dictionary. هذا طبعا example, هذا details concerning the example. Right? Right, here we have verb preposition, verb preposition, verb فعل زائد حرف جر. Look, verb after is a preposition. Take care of, who is looking after the baby, right? Verb here we have plus adverb plus preposition. Look forward to, anticipate with pleasure. I look forward to meeting you. إذن عندنا الفعل موجود. Adverb this, adverb and then this preposition. Alright. Now let's come to this phrasal verb. العبارة الفعلية. Verb فعل plus adverb زائد ظرف. The structure of this type of phrasal verb is adverb plus verb. Adverb and ظرف plus verb الفعل. These phrasal verbs can be transitive and intransitive. Transitive متعدي، intransitive غير متعدي. أنت مقصود به مفعول مباشر، مفعول به غير مباشر. Direct object and no direct object. Meaning here, look at these examples of transitive and intransitive. الفعل مفعول به متعدي ومفعول به غير متعدي. Meaning, example sentences, right? Let's say transitive, put off. This is transitive, right? Direct object هذا postponed. We will have to put off the meeting. Turn down, refuse. They turned down my offer. معناتها هذا رفض العرض. Intransitive, get up, break down. Get up, rising from bed. I don't like to get up. Break down, stop working. He was late because his. Alright? This is just kind of sentences. Alright. Now we move to phrasal verb. العبارة الفعلية إلى القسم الثاني which is verb plus preposition. فعل وحرف الجر. Right? This type of phrasal verb is also called prepositional verb. Prepositional verb. The structure of a prepositional verb is prepositional verb. Look at this table very well. Prepositional verb meaning example sentence. Right? So take believe verb and حرف جر. Okay, as you see in these examples. Talk verb, wait verb. So all these and after, about, all these are what preposition, and these are sentence, right? Meaning, this is the meaning, and these are examples. I believe in, he is looking after. Okay, this exercise, you can read it, write the correct sentence, correct forms or words next to each sentence. Okay, this is the answer for the above exercise. You can read it. Also, we have this is another exercise for phrasal verbs. Be with one of these phrasal verbs. Be, through, go on, fill, take off, stay out, speak. Right. Also, this is exercise for phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs. Okay, complete with carry on, get on, hold on, put on, try on. Right. Okay, it is also a solution. You can see the exercise. Take off. Okay, so you have to read all these exercises. Okay, now we have just finished the unit 7. Now we move to the unit 8. The title of unit 8 is just imagine, right? So we start with grammar, first and second conditional. أول الجملة الشرطية الأولى والجملة الشرطية الثانية. Right? So we have started here. First and second conditional. First we have to define what is meant by first conditional sentence. The first conditional sentence is a structure that key used for talking about possibilities and احتماليات in the present في الحاضر or in the future. Here we have example. First conditional. If the weather is nice, we will go swimming. Okay, if في البداية. If the weather is nice, we will go swimming. How to form a complex sentence with the first conditional. كيف تصير جملة معقدة من ال first conditional الجملة الشرطية الأولى. If clause main clause. If plus subject plus verb in the present tense subject. Will plus verb. If the weather is nice, we will go swimming. if you study hard, you will pass the exam. If, and then we use you, and then we use study, yes, verb in present tense. طبعا في present tense الحاضر في المضارع. And then well, you will pass the test. Okay. Alright, now let's move to the second one, which is second conditional. What do you mean by second conditional clause? ما العبارة الشرطية ثانية. The second conditional expresses تعبر in real situations in the present or future. تعبر عن الحالات الغير الحالات أو المواقف الغير حقيقية في الحاضر أو المستقبل. A second conditional sentence consists of two clauses. تكون عبارتين yes, and an if clause and main clause. If clause and main clause, right? Clause. How to form a complex sentence with a second conditional. كيف تصير جمل معقدة مع العبارة الشرطية الثانية. If clause, main clause. If clause, if plus subject plus verb in the past simple tense. فيها المضارع في زمن if plus subject plus verb in the past simple tense في زمن الماضي, right? And then main clause the subject placed with verb. If I had £1,000,000, I would buy a big yacht, right? Okay. Now let's come to the more details about structure of the first conditional على العبارة الشرطية الأولى. details أكثر. Let's say in many cases في حالات كثيرة positive حالة إثبات, negative في حالة النفي, and then في حالة in the case of question. Let's come to the first case, which is positive في حالة الإثبات. If you hurry, you will catch the bus. If you hurry, you will catch the bus. هاي في حالة الإثبات. If you walk, نأتي على حالة negative النفي. If you will go slowly, you will not catch the bus. If you don't hurry, you'll miss the bus. In the case of question, what will you do if the train is full tomorrow? What will you do if the train is full tomorrow? في حالة question. You will, won't, will not. Right? Right. Here also we come now to the structure of second conditional تركيب العبارة الشرطية الثانية, وهو in three cases: positive, negative, and a question. Right? If I had more time, I would travel more. I had positive. ولكن هنا عندنا التصريف يختلف صار ماضي. Negative, I wouldn't refuse if you offer me. Right? 100,000. I would be surprised if he didn't come. Right? كل هنا عندنا في صيغة الماضي. Question, the case of question, what would you say if you met the president? What would you say if you met the president? في حالة question. Here also exercises, you can read them one by one, right? And also if you have a question about these exercises, you can ask me. Here also I have provided you the answers here. Okay, this is exercise for second conditional clause. عبارة شرطية ثانية. These exercises and these other exercises. This is the answer. Alright, right? Okay. Now let's come to the units. Now we are moved to the unit 9, right? Unit 9 talk about grammar, modal verbs, and probability. Okay, modal verbs is very famous. Now we come to the definition of modal verbs. Okay, what is modal verbs? Okay, we have first thing we have to define what are modal verbs. Modal verbs or modal auxiliary verbs are a type of verbs, you know, من الأفعال that indicates modality. For example, like likelihood, permission, الإذن, ability, المقدرة, and obligation, والإجبار or إلغام. Some of the common modal verbs are can, could, may, might, and must. هذه بعض modal verbs, right? Now let's come to them one by one. Well, let's come to the first one, which is well, would. will is used to show a wish prediction تنبؤ request طلب demand يسأل order طلب assumption افتراض promise وعد. examples here. will you please keep quiet will you please keep quiet طبعا خلي question mark استفهام في السؤال. Aruna says it will rain today. Kumar said he will not drink alcohol henceforth. Whereas with is used to show a wish or with. Okay, I come to the with is used to show a wish رغبة or to request طلب in a polite way بطريقة مؤدبة and sometimes to express تعبر habits and عادات. Example about would. Would you please give me would you please give me would you please would you please give me 100 bucks? She would remain very calm during her examination days. Can, right? Look at this can. Can is used to show permission, possibility, and ability. Example, you can join us for the dinner if you want. Can I leave early today? Sanavika can speak English if you want to. Anatia could. Could is used to present a suggestion, request, permission, future, possibility, and ability in the past. Could I go for a movie? I think we could do it. Neha gave up her dreams so that she could marry him. Right? Alright. Now come to the may. May is used to ask permission and to show future possibility. Example, may I have a cup of tea? India may become a developed country by 2020. Right? Let's come to the 5. Might is used to show present and future possibility. Examples, I have a coupon of Panatones that might offer a discount of 10% after showing them. Mr. Smith might be sleeping now, let's not disturb her. Okay? هذا استخدام might is used to show present المضارع الزمن المضارع والزمن احتمالية المستقبل. Now number 6, let's come to the must. Must shows the necessity, الضرورية, obligation, إجبار, and prohibition. Alright, examples, you must not do it. We must leave now. I think must is very clear for you. Number 7, come to the should. Should is used to show advice and obligation, نصيحة وإجبار أو رغام. Examples here, you should walk carefully as the roads are slippery. Shreya, you should close the tape and avoid wastage of water. Right? Modals are used to ask permission, may, can, could. Examples, may I come in? Could I use your pen? Please. Make a request. Can, could. Example, could you please give me the doctor's telephone number? Express possibility, may, might, could. Example, it might rain during the night. Give advice or suggestion, should. Example, you should wear a helmet while driving your motorbike. Express necessity or compulsion. ضرورية or إجبار, must, have to. Examples, we must slow down while driving in front of at school. I have to submit my project by tomorrow. Express prohibition. Example, a minute. Right? You must not talk loudly in the library. Express a promise or intention. Will, shall. Example, will or shall. And this example, I will mail you my address. Express a wish. May. Example, may here, and this example, may you have a long life. So may تعبر عن تمني, may you have a long life. Right? Modals models does not change according to the number of a person of a subject. تتغير طبقا إلى عدد أو شخص person of the subject موضوع الشخص. Examples: he can learn, I can learn, you can learn, they can learn, we can learn. A modal is always used with a verb and it is basic form مع صيغته الأساسية. The modal takes the tense while the main verb remains in its dictionary form. Examples: I can run, I may run, I could run, I might run. Modals can be used alone in response to a question. Examples: can you sing, can I can. Will you sing, I will. Will you come, I may, I will. Modals when joined will not form a negative, can be contracted, تكون متناقضة. Examples: I cannot run, I can't run, I do not run, I don't run, I will not run, I will not run. Right? Okay. Now let's come to the unit 10. Unit 10, yes, it's about opposition, تملك. Grammar we have here present perfect simple continuous. المضارع التام البسيط والمستمر. Time expressions تعبيرات الزمن. Compound nouns. Right? Here we go. Okay. Now let's come. What's the present perfect tense? Some students they don't know what is it. Present perfect tense. Right? So let's define what is it. Present perfect tense. المضارع التام بسيط. It's a process in action يعبر عن الفعل أو الحدث that is still going on لا يزال جاري or that is stopped recently وتوقف مؤخرا but has an influence in the present ولديه تأثير في الحاضر. It puts emphasize on the results ويضع تأكيد أو أثر في النتيجة. Form of the present perfect. هذه صيغة أولا we have 2 points here, very important point. First point is definition of present perfect tense, this is number 1, and 2 is form of the present perfect. I, you, we, they. I have spoken. I have not spoken في حالة النفي. Have I spoken في حالة السؤال. He, she, it. He has spoken. Right? He has not spoken في حالة النيجاتيف. Question: has he spoken? It's very clear, right? We put has in the beginning, نضع has في البداية, and then say has he spoken. Single words of present perfect: already, ever, just, never, not yet, so far, till now, up to now. Use of present perfect. استعمال المضارع التام. Puts emphasis on the results يضع تأكيد في النتيجة. Examples: she has written 5 letters. She has written 5 letters. Action that is still going on. Example: school has not started yet. I'm listening to the back. Right? Action that stopped recently. Example: she has dinner. هذا فعل انتهى. Right? مؤخرا. Finish it in action that has influence in the present. Example: I have lost my key. انتهاء الحدث الذي لديه تأثير في present في الحاضر. Example: I have lost my key. Action that has taken place once, never, or several times before the moment of speaking. I have never been to Australia. Right? Hear this very well. Okay, now let's come to the second type of sentences here. Present perfect continuous المضارع التام المستمر. We have, as I told you before, that we have to define what is a present perfect continuous. The present perfect continuous tense, also known as the present perfect progressive. If you say continuous, progressive, so it is the same هو مستمر. Shows that something started in the past, شيء بدأ في الماضي and is continuing at the present time. وزال مستمر في الوقت الحاضر. The present perfect continuous is formed using the construction. First, we define what is its present perfect continuous, and then I will tell you about the form of the present perfect continuous. Has, have, been, the present plus the present participle. وتصل مثال. would here معناتها جذر الفعل plus ing. Example: have been reading War and Peace for a month now. I have been writing articles on different topics since morning. He has been reading the book for 2 years. Right? These are examples. Right? She has been finding the dress since morning. He has been studying in the library for 3 hours. We have been shopping at this fair for 2 hours. We have been watching a movie in this same place for 2 hours. Okay, now let's come to the third table, which is time expressions. Time تعبير الزمن. The present permanent used for all time and permanent times. Sophia now live in a small town. Nowadays I live in a big town. Okay, كيف تستخدم تعابير الوقت في حالات different cases. Listening about a period of time in the past. My big sister started work as a nurse in the 1960s. In those days they lived in London. Back then teachers were badly paid. At that time nurses lived in a special accommodation. Then, right? So the third case is talking about a single event. تحدث عن حدث واحد في الماضي. At one time he lost her door. Must be she lost her door key and had to stay in the hotel. On one occasion she nursed the child of a famous politician. These days Tom doesn't have much of a social life. So we have used many time expressions in different cases. Okay. Example sentence. I went side of my mother after. Right. after. هنا اللي بالبولز باللون الغامق هذه هي time expressions. Right, look at this result. I walked all day, then I went shopping. He was desperate to go shopping by the time. Okay, now let's come to the last subject, which is compound nouns. A compound noun is a noun that is made up for 2 or more words. Most compound nouns in English are formed by nouns modified by other nouns or adjectives. For example, the words tooth and paste, right, are each nouns are equally small in their own right. But if you join them together, they form a new word, toothpaste. The word black is an adjective and board is a noun, but if you join them together, they form a new word, blackboard. Look at these examples. Noun plus noun, toothpaste. Adjective plus noun, monthly ticket. Verb plus noun, swimming pool. And then preposition plus noun, underground. Okay? The two parts may be written in a number of ways. So sometimes the two parts may be written in a number of ways. Sometimes the two words are joined together. For example, toothpaste, bed, bedroom. Sometimes they are joined using hyphen. Example here, hyphen. Check in. There's number 2 and number 3. Sometimes they appear as 2 separate words. يعني يظهر في كلمتين متفارقتين. Right? There is a list of lots of compound words here. A good dictionary will tell you how you should write each compound noun. Here 2 words are joined together. Here 2 words are joined together. Example, tooth plus paste, toothpaste. Bed plus bedroom plus room equal bedroom. Example, full moon. There's a list of lots of compound nouns here. A good dictionary will tell you how you should write each compound nouns. So in this case, you have to check in the dictionary, and also if you want, I can give you more compound nouns. But it's famous now for you, and also none have become known for you about these cases. Right? Thank you very much.